Horne internet provider. Fluently.
He's talking on YouTube abs. Right. 3 seconds. It's a good pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I just made a $5.14 donation.
Why?
Today is the 514th day of Nick Aldis's reign that began with that match we just saw.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's true.
We don't go buggy.
I told him I didn't need a shout out. I just wanted to recognize day 514.
Well, hello, everybody.
Gary.
And welcome. I am
Fluffy
Gary
beard.
Horne. This is Gary.
And this is Adam Rotella.
Got your little Gary Horn crush, don't you?
This is the NWA,
Yeah.
the podcast celebrating the past, present, future, history, legacy, tradition, all of it, of one of the greatest pro wrestling entities of all time. We're talking about that National Wrestling Alliance. And I don't know about you, but I am
Trying to see
super
what
pumped
shirt he was
because we
wearing.
just saw probably one of the greatest.
It looks like it
possible
says
matches we
Steve.
could see.
It says
I mean,
Steve.
that
I'm trying to think, is that like a
fun, but man, oh man, if
Steve
you are not
Carino?
walking away from that one.
Steve Carino was the
Right now,
NWA World Champion. His boy was on Circle Square the other day.
That
Oh.
was incredible.
Yeah, Gary, we don't know what the future of NWA content holds. We don't know
Remember,
what the
tell him
future of
sports those sunglasses no matter what. So,
He really does, though.
here, shout out. I didn't need that shout out, brother. Say something about Nick Aldis.
Obviously, we're living in it right now, right, Gary? So, worst case scenario, they gave us a match that
Elder Sowers, the producer. He gave me a little holler on here.
Oh, 100%. We talked about it on the pre-show. We saw people talking about it in the chat. I saw people in Wrestling Days' live stream. Most of them.
What do you think about Wrestling Days?
I was watching
The
chat
wacky,
whole
the
time,
wacky guy
which I
that
does all up in reactions.
You know, it's like a cesspool sometimes.
I mean,
But
he's normal.
I was watching the chat for the NWA feed as well.
He's not
And
the worst.
Everybody was talking about that thing like they had never ever seen this pay-per-view, and especially this match. And so there were people jumping in there that had no idea this was from the past, and they were like, well, "I didn't know AEW was doing an NWA angle." And it was kind of interesting because for us this is old news, but it's cool to see people get a chance.
That's
to,
right.
to
Like,
see what
Cody's now one of the elites, one of the superstars of the AEW. Before that even happened, he wrestled Cody. They had that little, Cody Rhodes had that little title swap with Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis had beaten Tim Storm for the belt, dropped it,
Oh.
and Cody picked it up, and that was 514 days ago today. I hate that we missed Superpower. Maybe next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Remember, there's still a couple of Circle Square matches, too. We were there for the thing. We haven't seen those guys yet. Remember the tag team match where, well, I don't want to say it, because if we end up posting this, I don't want people to know.
Yeah.
But you remember.
Yeah, absolutely. That's 100% true. And how about the interaction that we saw tonight? Mr. Aldis actually getting involved. Like Camille was actually in the chat.
This was the first time we'd seen Camille was NWA 70. She made her NWA debut as the, they didn't call her the insurance policy yet, but that was her first appearance. Now it looks like, well, she may end up challenging Thunder Rosa. You talking about a Super Bowl? That would be a titanic match.
Who do you think will win?
Gosh, man, I like both of them. I mean, seems
Thunder
like,
looks good.
yeah, I think Thunder Rosa's probably a better tactician, but Camille is just so powerful. She's
tall.
She's tall. She stormed Tim Storm like he was a freaking paper bag. So.
I can't think of a better move from a company that they just took the time out today.
I don't know, man.
Well, we've got to recalibrate.
Gary Horne looks like such an intellectual, man. Or it's like he goes up in a cabin and writes poetry or writes metaphysical reflections and philosophy and all that.
And, first of all, shout out to Jason Peace. I see you in the chat, my man. Shout out to you. Thanks for joining me today for NWA Stranger. You never know how those things are going to go, folks. You got to check out NWA Stranger.
That's something we need to do. We need to be listening to Stranger broadcast too.
What's that?
Especially when we're going to have a lot of time. It's some content they do before the show.
Oh, okay.
Interviewing people and all that. There's all kinds of stuff on there, man.
Okay.
So,
This makes sense for where the NWA is right now, where we are right now. For us,
I want to know what if Rotella is just wearing those
Oh wait.
headphones like they're like as an accessory, like Beats, or if he's actually using that if he's listening in. Oh, he's probably listening to the producer. That was dumb. Like he's got headphones on too. Yeah, that's a dumb question. Whatever. We can edit that out.
In the background of Gary's room or something where he's at.
He obviously
He
doesn't
has-
use a green screen yet.
No. He has a Ric Flair action figure.
That's a Funko Pop. Yeah, that's the one that. There's 2 or 3 Flairs. That's a good one. Right in front of the
Belt.
10 pounds of gold.
First pre-show on NWA Stranger, just talking about the setup for NWA 70. I said it there and I'll say it again.
He's also got some Funkos on this side on his bookshelf.
Yeah. It
Started
looks
like
like
a
a
Yoda.
Yoda.
Building themselves up
And
from
a,
the ground up, just
Maybe a
added
Luke
up to
Skywalker or
something
something back
big.
there.
And it's kind of what we tried to model what we do after. And you folks,
And
huge NWA fans, it's a great
Adam
model.
Rotella's background looks like he's hosting 120 minutes of rock and roll on MTV from back in the 80s. I like it.
Putting out the content and trusting your fans
Rocking
to
the
go along with it.
10 pounds of gold
And,
lapel
share
pin.
it, promote
Yeah.
it. All of that, it's just this organic growth, this authentic build. And
He's actually right, though. I just made the comment. There's not another promotion in the world as fan conscious as the NWA. You think that the personal interaction we've had with Nick Aldis, with Thunder Rosa before, with these guys, Billy Corgan has retweeted some of my stuff that we filmed at the school. I mean, you're not going to see that in any. Vince McMahon's not doing that stuff. You know, these guys. This is a really fan-oriented promotion, and just so happens to be the best, oldest, most traditionally promotion in the world.
Yeah.
That's why you can be wrestling illiterate on the rest of the world. And I like AEW. Okay, it's all right. Some of the NXT stuff's pretty good, but as far as like the WWE and all that, you can be illiterate to all that. You could just know NWA, and you'd be just fine as far as your wrestling literacy level. This is the best stuff going.
Yeah.
And the NWA is used to pivoting, used to adjusting. They adapt and every time.
That's what I'm talking about. One of my favorite words in the English language, Gary, is pivoting. I am
Pivoting.
the king. And my man, like what I'm talking about, moving all
Adam Rotella's favorite word in the English language is pivoting. You know what they say the most lovely word, I guess it's a phrase in the English language is? Cellar door. Just something I heard on Donnie Darko.
That's kind of weird.
Putting a lot of money ads into YouTube, just on YouTube right now. YouTube pre-roll ads. Let's put our product right in front of these people that are searching for wrestling anyways. My friends, this is a moment in time, which is unfortunate, but this is a moment in time where
Saying you got to take advantage of this stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff we can learn, a lot of stuff we can go back and watch. I'm sure they've got backlogs of content.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This is the time where, and this goes for not just for wrestling too, but for all of us and whatever.
Tanya likes his beard better than my beard.
You can't do
Well, I mean,
anything about the situation that's happening right now.
I can see
the only
why.
thing you can do is adjust
I mean,
and adapt. to
His
it.
beard
That's-
fits him and
that's
your beard
the
fits
power
yours.
that you
Right.
have. And so right now, think about all the things that you thought you didn't have enough time for, all the stuff that.
Well, we got
was
time
holding
now.
you back. I mean, right now.
We got time now.
I can't imagine you with
It's a
this.
sad situation on why you do, but you do. Here it is.
I know.
So this is the time
Think it
for us
was
to
wrong.
get ourselves together, pull ourselves up, and be better than we were.
We'll send a shout out to the
before. This is
Fortune.
Time to reevaluate all of that. That's how I choose to look at it.
He's another guy I've kind of started to interact
You all
with.
are as
Love to
well.
have met him.
Oh, Gary, I love that attitude, my
Yeah.
man.
And we will. I'm sure they'll reschedule all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is the NWA podcast. How do you want to look at the future of this podcast, by the way. I'm not really sure what we go into.
Mr. E Face says NWA is the reset button to crappy wrestling.
Do we talk about vision? I'm not really sure how
WWE Front Row says, and there's the new T-shirt, Pivot King. I like
Well,
it.
that's a good point. It's what we keep talking about over and over again. But I promise we talked about it before the show. We just never came to a conclusion. But shout out to WWE Front Row though for the random cash drop. Thank you very much.
$1.99. I'm in the top right now with my $5.14 donation.
The way this works is, we're just here to hang out with you guys, to talk NWA. We can talk about that pay-per-view all you want to. I've got my notes jotted down.
I want to push that.
What happened, but I'm also
The day of the rain thing every day, because for some reason, there are some people out there that would say that today is actually the 513th day because they don't count October 21st, the day he won it. They're like, the first school day would be October 22nd. My argument is that no.
Because he
When
still
the
had
day
it.
ended on October 21st, he was the world champion. That was the first day of his reign. His reign is marked from that day.
Yeah.
So that would.
the house and Miss Piper, and so we don't want to run anybody off. So I caught myself.
Hey, go get a drink real quick. I think he said a potty
myself
word.
in the chat earlier because I was super pumped about everything.
Don't go too
But
far.
Anyway, so
All right, you're good.
I mean, we're gonna sit here and talk about whatever you guys want to. Like I said, the situation is what it is. We want
Go,
to be
hurry up.
entertainment and escapism for you guys as much as we possibly can. We want you guys to come hang out with us. So if you've got topics you want to discuss, hit us.
Hey,
And
Gary,
it doesn't require us.
by the way, Gary, my man, I have nothing to do until May 1st, by the way. So there could be a whole lot more lives coming our way in the future, folks. Like, I got nothing to do at night. We could go live every night of the week if we wanted to at this point.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. We got a hashtag Piper's note.
I like it.
In the chat for Mr. Stinson.
He said,
what does shoot the shoot mean?
Take it, Gary.
Well, I think that's a dad thing. Personally, that doesn't really seem like that should be on me.
Yeah, we don't want to explain wrestling terms here. That's not for us to explain. That's for the
Shoot the shoot just means, hey, we're just going to talk.
Okay.
That's a hashtag Gary screw up. That's what that is.
Push that door too, so I make the baby up.
Shout out Captain Cat.
Man, you do everything so loud, don't you?
Thank you so much, Gary, Adam. You two are great people. You're a great person. Thank you so much. That was really cool of you to say. And no, man,
Tim Vaughn said, let's talk about how all this is a good champ, but would it be better if you learned Mongrovian karate?
Jennifer note for today, I told Adam earlier, was
I don't know.
just I told her
I like Mongrovian karate, but I think that
3-hour show.
Nick Aldis is a ring general. He's the master of his martial art, which is ground wrestling.
Yeah, I don't think Mongrovian karate.
I was like, you're not going to be bad, right?
would work
She was
with
like,
him.
oh, listen, we were both stuck here, and I'm going to be so sick of you.
Well, it might work with him. It might work on him, but he doesn't need to master it because he's already the master of his technique. Nick Aldis is the most well-oiled wrestler in the world.
I had one whiskey, and then I saved 2 beers for now. So that's I'm just trying to take it easy. But I did hang out in this room that I'm in right now, and I watched
I see his
Wrestling
mug.
Days, or I watched
And
Said
double
eBay
red
coffee.
Wrestling Days on this laptop, and a
Let me
little
ask you
a
something,
little phone
Gary.
device.
Let me ask you something, my man. You said that you were checking out the NWA YouTube chat throughout this whole thing.
I should have done that, man. That's what we should have done. We were too busy watching Wrestling Days' chat, which was good. It was good. But the NWA had a live chat going on during the NWA 70 replay, too, that we missed. And evidently, Aldis and Tim Storm and Nick Aldis and some of those jokers were on that. We could have interacted with them. But I love at the end of that Wrestling Days podcast where Wrestling Days says, "The king is dead, long live the king." That's what my new hashtag is going to be. Long live the king, or hashtag I stand with Aldis.
It was actually a lot more positive than I expected to see over there. It was really, there were the people, there were the trolls, just like,
Trolls.
oh, NWA sucks, all other wrestling's canceled, just
Whatever,
like useless
man.
comments that you're like, why are you here watching this and chatting? if that's how you feel. Just go away.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
But anyway, for the most
It's a
part,
bum
it was,
being locked
it was
down and all that and all this stuff,
But
but
people like watching this for
you
the
have
very first time.
the message put out by all of us in the NWA, and these guys can continue to put content out. I can live on this. If they stop doing that, that's when we're in crisis mode. That's when we're like, oh, we need to go to the grocery store and stock up on stuff because we're going to hunker down and just hibernate. But as long as they're still putting their stuff out, life goes on, you know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
In the comment sections of those streams when they're happening.
Absolutely, Gary. You know,
Man, I want to see what's on Gary's bookshelves back there.
I mean, I don't think you need another book right now. 'Cause there's about 100 books in here.
In this room,
Well,
there's about 100 books on that shelf right there, that little shelf. There,
yeah, there's have a lot of books, and then downstairs there's even more.
and then there's those boxed up in the garage.
And, yeah.
What I'm surprised about is the amount of people that
We need to get Rotella some mechanical pencils, man. Of course, he may be going for the throwback nostalgic appeal of the old graphite number 2 pencil.
But
Yeah, just stuff they haven't seen
mechanical
before. They
pencils
don't
are easier.
know like the story. Like we even saw Captain Cat's saying in the chat that some people were like, how did Cordy come back?
I was wondering.
yeah.
I was wondering earlier today how people were going to react to that. Was that an okay reaction inside the chat?
I saw, the only thing
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I wish we had seen. We missed out on that.
Some people were, but most people were just like, I can't get behind Cordy's politics. And I was like, that's a reasonable, level-headed way of putting something.
I'm telling you what, man. Nothing was better than going to the Capitol, doing the Mongrovian thing. The next time they get, we lost Gary.
The wall, kind of responds. So,
Whew, I was like, Corona done got to the live feed. His live feed's infected.
Sammy Guevara, Scorpio Sky, and Cody Rhodes,
Next time somebody comes to town politicking, we need to go there and set up a booth and a petition for Mongrovian rights, man. That'd be great.
Probably seen on AEW.
Start asking people.
I just played it
That'd be
up,
awesome.
look at all these people that AEW has to make their
You were saying something about my
NWA
podcast, right?
bound first.
Oh,
got it.
do you like my?
Yeah, I got one just like it. Feel this. This is like ultra soft. That's a good product, guys. Good product. Soft.
Well, they can, it's not
Feel
a rough
nicer.
relationship. I don't think that they have.
Yeah,
but,
that's good too.
we even saw Wrestling Days get excited about the Ricky Starks vignette.
Wrestling Days, man.
Ricky Starks shot himself.
They call him an NWA cherub. He is. I love that guy. I've never met him. I'd love to meet him, but I'm gonna tell you that guy right there would be fun to hang out with. I just like to get him a ticket to come out and hang out with us for a weekend.
He has a
Just
good
watch.
attitude.
Great attitude, man. He's always happy. He's got a good perspective. He's really bought into the NWA. This is a guy that watches a lot of wrestling, and he loves the NWA's product. So that's how you know that we're on something special with this.
Yeah.
What about everybody talks about Gary's beard, but what about Rotella's mustache, man? That is
It's a great mustache.
It's well groomed, boy. It's got just that little bit of hint where you can see the lip right there.
And then there's that shine.
Got a little sheen to it.
I think
Yeah, absolutely.
if his beard came off and his mustache came off, then they would make a if they were superheroes, they would be a good team.
That's a job.
His beard and the mustache.
A good superhero team? I thought don't say tag team because Adam Rotella is very, very strict about what his role is. He will tell you, I am not a wrestler. I made a point about saying how that day that old Royce Isaacs was manhandling Mae Valentine, and I said, Adam looked like he was about to come across the rails there, and he's like, no, not me. I'm not a wrestler.
Fortson actually had to be put on a
Oh, yeah.
300-second timeout already tonight.
Hold on.
Fortson does have a get out of 300-second timeout.
We got a free Fortson, man.
So Fortson, whatever you want to use that, DM either me or Gary, we can use that for you.
Yeah, you know, you just can't control some people.
Hashtag
I
free
would be,
Fortson.
Lying if I said that he didn't say some things I agreed with from time to time. So, you know. James Lawrence in the chat. Hey everyone, just want to say stay safe, practice proper hygiene protocol, look after your elders. We're a big family here, and I definitely care about you all. Just wanted to share that. Well, thank you for sharing that, James. That's exactly what we're talking about. Miss Thunder Rosa is in the chat.
Thunder Rosa's in the chat.
And Fortson.
What you think about Thunder Rosa?
All their own toes
I
because he was
think
talking about loving
she's
Sammy Guevara.
awesome.
Thunder Rosa says, whoever likes Sammy Guevara can
Would
be
you
my
say she
friend."
is the most awesome, raddest girl in the world?
Yeah.
Sammy Boo coming for Brian Cervantes.
You know who Brian Cervantes is, don't you? That is Thunder Rosa's husband.
Very much, man. And he says, to be fair, Ricky got B-Room
Oh,
over.
we need to talk about
man.
that match. There's a match we can talk about, Gary. Can you give people the foundation of this whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw,
There's been like 20
out on that on Twitter. Like,
Wrestling
Ricky
Days is my
just, you know,
homeboy,
with
but
all the
hold on.
dates being
I'm gonna let her know
canceled
that
and
you
everything else, he's
what
like,
you think
maybe
about
I
her.
should just put on a live stream of me fighting a broom. And they kind of pulled up.
Said Thunder Rosa, my daughter Piper thinks you are the raddest lady of all time.
And Ricky did. I think that was on Monday, I believe. Monday night, fought a broom in a ring and had quality video skills going on. I mean, we talked. It's interesting because we just got through talking about Ricky Starks and his attitude with his putting himself out there and creating content and taking or betting on himself. And here the guy is again wrestling a broom in a quality match that Jim Cornette would absolutely.
You know what, Gary? I don't think that Mr. Cornette would absolutely would necessarily
Oh, snap.
win this match.
Look, Thunder Rosa, tell her I said she is rad AF.
What does AF mean?
as fools, as freaks, you know what I'm saying? You rad as a freak.
Okay.
That's good. Thunder Rosa just sent you a shout out, man. The woman's champion of the world, the real world's women champion.
Great match. Both are champs. But to go back to, now I forgot what we were even talking about. The Brute match. There we go. And Mr. Cornette. I don't think that even Mr. Cornette would be that upset about this match because the way that it was filmed in a parody style. You know, there was a lot of Weird Al Yankovic to the way that this video was filmed. He knew what he was
Weird Al
doing.
Yankovic reference.
That this wasn't exactly something that was looked highly upon, but I have to say that the way that Ricky Starks went in with it, it was the best way that he could possibly film it. I enjoyed.
I didn't even know Ricky Starks back then, man.
He looked at it as it was a joke, as it was a parody. So I think it was very well done.
He's from New Orleans,
That's a good point.
or from Louisiana. I'm not
Ricky
sure.
Starks is my favorite.
It was
I like him okay. I mean, he's
but yeah, it was just in fun. And
I was surprised.
It was a really cool thing. It's good to see people.
Eli Drake's always kind of like rubbed me wrong,
Thinking outside of the box.
especially like back in the other organization he was in. He would like, let me talk to you, dummies.
Over here on
I was surprised that when we went to the taping how charismatic that Joker was, man. I was like, dude, man, Eli Drake has got like big star charisma in person. You know, he and James Storm both do. I feel like we haven't heard about anything about them for a minute, man. The tag champs.
Well, it's our favorite. And so we love it.
You know, let's since we are spitballing right now and kind of brainstorming what we can do. There's some things on my end now that I have a lot of time on my hands. If you want to do an interview with somebody live, we can make that happen right now.
Hey, open that door and see. Just open it quietly now. That means turn the door up and see if I hear the baby crying.
So if you want to do an interview live with anybody, folks,
Okay, just push it and just crack it. Don't push
Yeah,
it.
perfect. That would be great. When I'm thinking of Q&As too, I know you've had some ideas, and I had one just now.
I don't want to make too much noise here.
I've got a interview with Mr. George South in the can.
Dude, the George South interview, man. I can't wait.
I wasn't sure going in how that was going to go, but I promise
you. The sacred death. Man, he was circle squared, boy. That was.
Mr. South willing to part with.
How about they didn't use our video on the circle square, man?
I know.
They said Gary said that he had provided content too for both episodes, and they hadn't used it yet. They showed Adam. Adam got his circle square debut the other night. Looked pretty good. Hopefully Dave Lagana will give us a second crack at it. We weren't good enough, man. We got to bring our A game next time.
Yeah.
And we talked so long, I only got to like 3 questions. But he had such a good time at the end. He was like, if you want to redo this and just do Q&As with the fans or something for like stuff they send in, I'd be happy to do that.
Oh my God, that is fantastic. I love that idea right there. Yeah, that should be done. And even Mr. Cervantes saying we should interview the broom that Ricky Starks wrestled.
I got to show you that video, man. They're talking about Ricky Starks wrestling the broom. It was hilarious. That's what I'm talking about. This was Ricky Starks is. Trust me, you're gonna grow to like him. I know you like Zicky a little bit more, and Zicky's cool. But here's my thing about Zicky, man. Zicky's saying some things on social media that are like really mean, like he's trying to like, and I'm not even gonna say it because I don't want to offend anybody, but
We'll make it happen, Brian.
I always felt like Zicky Dice was kind of hapless, and he's kind of stuck in the '80s, a little bit clueless, but still pretty much got a. He's like really being real heelish, like real heelish, like flip a bird finger at a kid heelish. If you know what I mean? He's trying to outdo that guy, and I was like, don't do that, man. Of the very same thing I was talking about, right? Because I really want to like Zicky Dice. I don't mind him being a heel, but gosh, man, is it?
I was doing it anyway, and I just love how.
I can't believe someone would touch his fanny pack, though.
It's just going so well, and anyway, it's just we're all on the same page.
I'd like to get a hands on one of them fanny packs for you. We got to keep our budget under
$6,000.
Under $6,000, yeah. His is $16,000. We can keep it under $6,000. We'll be good.
Hit like and leave some comments. Communicate with the lady. Get that channel pumping so she gets that monetization she needs on her YouTube channel. It's all the more important right now. So help a sister out. Go check out Thunder Rose's YouTube. Subscribe if you have not already. It's amazing. She
does a great YouTube, man.
Doing on all of their stuff is awesome. They've got a lot of good ideas.
I think they live in San Antonio, I believe.
Thunder Rose is a hill, but she's a hill that a lot of people like.
See, here's the thing about the NWA and the whole heels and baby faces thing. The NWA is like everybody sort of transcends the heel babyface thing. Like Thunder Rosa, yeah, she's I guess she's a heel, but is Allison Kay a heel? Well, if Allison Kay's a heel, is freaking Camille a heel, or is she a face? Is Nick Aldis a heel? I don't really think they're heels. I think they're motivated by their own interest, like they're pushing their product, and sometimes they, some people are more intent on pleasing the fans than others are. But I think most of them are pretty congenial. Like Thunder Rosa giving you that shout out, a true heel. Someone's going to be a heel. They're not going to send a shout out to a fan, but she sent you a cool shout out, man.
Yeah.
Nick Aldis has sent me private messages on Twitter. Just about some of the things we've said about him. I think they're athletes, and they're pushing their brand and their names, and for some of them, their image is intertwined with the fans, and with others, it's not. So it's not really a heel or face thing. I mean, it's like you think like the question mark, heel or face? Neither, because you think, man, he's clearly over, but he's with Aaron Stevens. Aaron Stevens, heel or face?
Neither.
He's probably way more heelish than question mark is, though. But still, Aaron Stevens has been very gracious to us, and so I think the NWA is one of those things where it's like how it was in the '80s, where they're like heel and face ain't it's not that big a deal. Think about like you remember the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom? The pain, you know who they are, you just don't know them by name, man. This team was just devastating. They were brutal. They were scary, horrifying. But and they were mean, boy. They were mean. They were not nice. But for most of their careers, I guess you would probably consider them baby faces. They did have a little altercation with Dusty Rhodes. They actually put one of Dusty Rhodes' eyes out with a spike. Some other companies stole that storyline too here recently, but you would think the Road Warriors, they look like heels, they act like heels, but they were baby faces. The NWA's, it's like heel or faces. I don't know. I got to put more thought into that.
Put me in, coach. Put me in. We're ready to go.
I guess what I'm saying is that today in mainstream pro wrestling, bad guy and good guyness is like a really pushed thing, whereas in the NWA, it always has been that people are just who they are. Their personalities come out. And that's what bothers me about like Zicky. I like Zicky. He's really grown on me, but I feel like here recently he's really tried to like force heelness out of him. Heelishness, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm teachable on that. But see, you like Zicky, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if Zicky flipped you the bird? Would you be ticked off? You would, right? Yeah. Me too. I would be too.
But, yeah. So, all right. Thunder Rosa, Adam's thirsty. What else we got, chat room?
Those are the bullet points we hit every show. Yeah. The guy says Monkey walked out of the room when he heard your voice.
Oh, Lagan. I didn't even see David Lagan is in the chat. Monkey walked out of the room when you heard Rotella's voice. You know who David Lagan is, don't you? He is the executive vice president of the NWA. Only one man outranks him, and that's Billy Corgan himself. William Patrick Corgan. Hold on, let me put it.
Nice. Wish the well-wished is all that stuff.
There have been 29 women to stake a claim to the World's Championship. Right now, Thunder Rosa has held the belt. Her collective reigns make her the 18th longest reigning NWA World Champion of all time. If she reaches 500 days, she'll be 7th of all time.
I did get a nice picture of him and Monkey, though, so I can't say that. Yeah. I got a great picture of Monkey with a bunch of the old NWA.
We got Elder Sauer at Run. We can be good friends. He likes Thunder Rosa.
That's crazy.
Thunder Rosa just sent me your email because she.
On his Insta story, and it's just so funny to me. I don't know if it's funny or just
it's funny.
sad, but just the NWA belt over on the floor in the corner.
Jay-Z Flair is somewhere.
Thunder Rosa wants me to email her to help her with a project. You see that? Look.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just picturing like.
Watch out, Robert Sauer will turn on you.
That tried to hold up Billy and Legata for like those belts.
Let me go get the baby real quick. We may have to cut the recording short and just watch it.
We want them back. We'll put them over here. We need all those belts back. Let's go. Come over there.
We're sending the police after you. All right, that's enough of that.
Oh, man. That makes me happy to think about Legata. Let's see. What do we get out her email? Why she
It's way past your bedtime.
WWE front.
We're being too loud. We're being too loud. We woke up the monkey. Say hey, guys. All right, we're going to... Hey. We got to get you some milk and get you back to bed. Mama going to kill me when she knows you're still up. Let me... we're going to stop the recording at this point. We'll try to do more... we're going to keep watching, but we'll try to do more recordings and maybe get us a green screen like a Rotella. What you think? All right. Say hey. Say mwah. Not you, fool. Mwah. Mwah. Say bye-bye.